Listen to me. Life is going to come at you with everything it's got. Failure, betrayal, pain, storms, sleepless nights, broken promises. But let me make this clear. Yo, you cold, Devin, see. Defeat is not about what happens to you. It's about what happens inside of you. Life can knock me down, but it will AVR keep me there. I might stumble, I might fall, I might cry, but guess what? I rise every single time. You think just because I've been hurt, I'm finished? No. Pain fuels me. Struggle builds me. Setbacks shape me. Every time you try to bury me, you're planting the seed for my next level. I refuse to quit. I refuse to surrender. My heart beats too strong. My spirit burns too bright. My purpose runs too deep. You can take away my comfort. You can take away my friends. You can take away my sleep. But you will AVR take away my fight. So hear me loud and clear, no matter the storm, no matter the weight, no matter the opposition. Yo, you can't defeat me because I was built for this. I was chosen for this. And as long as I'm still breathing, I'm still winning. People walk around acting like defeat is stamped on them for life. They act like just because life hit them hard one time, or 2 times or 10 times, it's over. But let me tell you something right now. Defeat is not a condition you're stuck with. Defeat is a decision you make. It's not written on your forehead. It's not tattooed on your DNA. It's not permanent unless you allow it to be. Think about it. Every single one of us has fallen. Every single one of us has had moments where the weight was too much. Where the dream seemed impossible, where quitting felt easier than continuing. And yet here you are. You made it through nights you thought would break you. You made it through storms that felt like they'd swallow you whole. So don't you dare confuse the presence of struggle with the permanence of defeat. Defeat is when you decide not to get back up. Defeat is when you let the failure define your future instead of refine your character. Defeat is when you sit down, fold your arms, and say, I can't anymore. That's not life beating you. That's you handing life the victory. And I refuse to hand over what belongs to me. I refuse to let life write the last sentence of my story. That pen is in my hand. Let me break it down. Life is always going to test you. You're going to have days when the world looks at you and says, you're done. You don't have what it takes. But those voices don't control your destiny. What controls your destiny is your choice to rise one more time. It's your choice to walk back into the ring even when you got knocked down in the last round. It's your choice to say, I might be bleeding, but I'm still breathing. And as long as I'm breathing, I'm not defeated. Do you understand how powerful that is? You could be broke, but not defeated. You could be sick, but not defeated. You could be heartbroken, abandoned, laughed at, betrayed, and still not defeated. Why? Because defeat isn't about what happened to you. It's about what you choose to do next. Listen, you don't lose when you fail. You lose when you quit. Failure is just a part of the process. Quitting is what makes it final. So the real fight is not against circumstances, not against critics, not against the pain. It's against the temptation to give up. And if you can overcome that temptation, if you can silence that voice inside that says, stay down, then guess what? You've already won. I want you to remember the last time you thought it was over and yet you survived. You walked out stronger, tougher, wiser. That's proof right there that defeat isn't permanent. That's proof that you can rewrite the story anytime you decide. The only real question is, are you going to let the setback define you, or are you going to define the setback? So from this day forward, I need you to make a decision. Don't wait for life to get easier. Don't wait for the storm to pass. Don't wait for people to clap for you. Right now, in this moment, declare, I will not be defeated. I might struggle, but I won't quit. I might cry, but I'll keep moving. I might fall, but I'll rise again. Because defeat is not a condition. It's not stamped on your future. It's not sealed on your soul. Defeat is a choice. And I choose to keep fighting. Pain is something most people run from. The moment life hurts, the moment things don't feel good, people retreat, they hide, they complain, they break down. But here's the truth: pain isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to develop you. Pain isn't a punishment. It's a process. If you learn how to handle it, if you learn how to flip it, pain becomes the fuel that drives you further than comfort ever could. Think about it. Comfort never made anyone strong. Nobody became great by living in ease, by avoiding struggle, by skipping the fire. Diamonds are not made in soft pillows. They're formed under pressure. Steel isn't forged in a cool breeze. It's shaped in fire. And just like that, your character, your drive, your purpose, your discipline, they are born in pain. I know some of you want success without the scars. You want victory without the battle, but life doesn't work like that. You can't have the mountaintop without the climb, and climbs hurt. Your muscles ache, your lungs burn, your body screams to stop, but you keep going because you know the view at the top is worth it. That's what pain is doing to you right now. It's shaping you, building endurance, teaching you how to keep moving even when everything in you says quit. Every successful person you admire, every champion you respect, every hero you look up to, they all have one thing in common. They learned how to use pain. They didn't let pain break them. They let it push them. They didn't let pain silence them. They let it speak louder than their excuses. That's why they're remembered. That's why they inspire. That's why they stand out. Because when pain showed up, they didn't run. They said, fool me. Let me tell you what pain really is. Pain is information. Pain is the body and the soul telling you, you are in the middle of transformation. The same way your muscles hurt after a workout. They hurt because they're tearing and rebuilding into something stronger. The same thing happens in life. Your heartbreak, your setbacks, your losses, they hurt because your spirit is being stretched and rebuilt. And when it's over, you don't come out weaker, you come out unshakable. The problem is too many people misinterpret pain. They see it as the enemy when in reality, it's the ally. Pain is the alarm clock that wakes you up to your potential. Pain is the teacher that shows you what you're capable of surviving. Pain is the fire that burns off weakness and leaves only strength. Without it, you'd stay average. With it, you grow unstoppable. You've got to change your mindset about it. Stop asking, why me? And start saying, try me. Stop asking, when will it end? And start asking, what is it teaching me? The pain isn't pointless. The struggle isn't wasted. The tears you cried, the nights you thought you couldn't make it, the weight you carried, it's all building you for the next level. So the next time you feel pain, don't shrink. Don't tap out. Look at it and declare, thank you. I needed this. This is fuel. This is fire. This is what's going to make me stronger, hungrier, wiser. Because pain that you embrace becomes energy. Pain that you transform becomes progress. And pain that you survive becomes your story, your testimony, your legacy. Never forget this: comfort makes you soft, but pain makes you powerful. And when you learn how to turn pain into fuel, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can stop you. Setbacks are not the end of the road. They're part of the road. Too many people see a setback as a sign they should stop, as evidence that maybe they weren't meant to succeed. But let me tell you something, setbacks are not signals to quit. They're invitations to grow. They're the gym where your strength is built. They're the classroom where resilience is taught. Every time life throws you backward, it's setting you up to come forward with more power than before. You think about the strongest people you've ever met, the ones who inspire you, the ones you look at and say, I want that kind of toughness. Do you know what they all have in common? They've been through something. They've fallen flat on their face. They've been knocked down harder than most people could handle. And yet, instead of staying down, they turned that setback into a stepping stone. That's why they're strong, not because they avoided the storm, but because they walked through it and learned how to dance in the rain. When you face setbacks, you have two choices. Either you let them break you or you let them build you. That's it. Those are the only two options. And the difference comes down to perspective. If you look at your setback and say, this is the end, then it will be the end. But if you look at it and say, this is training, then you will grow from it. A setback is just weight on the bar. And the more weight you lift, the stronger you get. Life is going to test you with delays. You thought you'd be further along by now. You thought the dream would already be in your hands. But instead, you're stuck in the middle of rejection, roadblocks, and disappointment. And you start to wonder, why is this happening to me? It's happening because strength doesn't come from things being easy. Strength comes from things being hard and you refusing to back down. Let me break it down for you. A setback builds patience because you learn how to keep going when progress is slow. A setback builds character because you find out what you really stand for when things don't go your way. A setback builds humility because it reminds you that greatness isn't instant, it's earned. And a setback builds hunger because nothing makes you fight harder than knowing what it feels like to lose. And here's the truth. The people who win big in life are not the ones who never faced setbacks. They're the ones who faced them and kept going. Every champion has a record of losses. Every entrepreneur has a history of failures. Every great leader has a past filled with mistakes. But they all share this. They refuse to let the setback write their story. They used it to fuel the comeback. So the next time you face a setback, don't let frustration win. Don't let fear paralyze you. Don't let disappointment convince you it's over. Step back, take a deep breath and say, this is my training ground. This is where I'm building my strength, because if you can handle being knocked down, if you can handle rejection, if you can handle delay, then when the opportunity finally comes, you'll be ready to hold it. Remember, every setback is preparation. Every time life pushes you back, it's loading the spring. And when that spring releases, when you finally rise up, the world won't even be ready for the force you come with. Setbacks are not your enemy. They're your advantage. They don't weaken you. They make you unshakable. So don't despise the setback. Embrace it. Because one day you'll look back and realize it wasn't the moment you lost, it was the moment you were made. Resilience is the difference between people who talk about winning and people who actually win. Life will never give you victory on the first try, and it doesn't care how many times it knocks you down. The question is never, will I fall? The real question is, will I rise again? Unshakable resilience is when you make up in your mind that no matter how many times life slams you to the ground, you will get up again and again until the ground itself gets tired of holding you. You see, most people have conditional resilience. They'll fight as long as it's not too hard. They'll push as long as it doesn't take too long. They'll try again as long as they don't look foolish. But the moment it gets ugly, the moment it gets painful, the moment it requires more than they expected, they fold. That's not resilience, that's convenience. And convenience doesn't win wars, it doesn't build empires, it doesn't create legends. What wins, what builds, what creates is the spirit that says, you can hit me, but I won't break. You can delay me, but you won't deny me. You can push me down, but you will never keep me down. Resilience is not about being fearless. It's about moving forward even when you are scared. Resilience is not about never crying. It's about crying your tears, wiping your face, and still standing tall. Resilience is not about never losing. It's about refusing to accept loss as the final chapter. You only become unshakable when you stop measuring yourself by how many times you fall and start measuring yourself by how many times you refuse to stay there. Think about it. The tree that bends in the storm survives, while the tree that refuses to bend gets uprooted. Resilience is flexibility in the face of chaos. It's the ability to adjust without abandoning you. It's learning how to endure the storm without letting the storm destroy you. Life will hit you with financial struggles, with heartbreaks, with disappointments, with betrayals. And every time, resilience is the voice inside that says, I'm not done. I'm not finished. I've still got more in me. You want to know what makes someone truly unshakable? It's not that they never get tired. It's not that they never think about quitting. It's that even in the darkest hour, even when their body is weak, even when their mind is screaming, stop, their spirit whispers, one more step, one more try, one more fight. That whisper is resilience. And when you listen to it long enough, it turns into a roar that the whole world hears. The reality is, most people don't fail because they aren't talented or smart or gifted enough. They fail because they don't stay in the fight long enough. The ones who win are not always the fastest or the strongest. They are the ones who simply refuse to quit. That's the secret. That's resilience. And when it becomes unshakable, when no amount of defeat, delay, or disappointment can make you tap out, you become unstoppable. So I need you to make a decision today. Decide that nothing will move you off your purpose. Decide that no matter how long it takes, you will keep showing up. Decide that when life pushes you, you will push back harder. Build a resilience so strong that even your enemies, even your doubters, even your circumstances look at you and say, there's no point trying to stop them, they won't break. That's what it means to be unshakable. Not that the storm didn't come, but that you're still standing after it passed. Not that you never fell, but that you rose every single time. And when you carry that kind of resilience, life has no choice but to respect you. Pressure is something everyone faces. The deadlines, the bills, the expectations, the weight of responsibility, the fear of failure, it all builds up until it feels like the world is sitting on your shoulders. And for most people, pressure is what makes them quit. But here's the difference between those who break and those who rise: purpose. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, the pressure can't crush you. Purpose overpowers pressure every single time. Let me tell you why. Pressure is temporary, but purpose is eternal. Pressure screams in the moment, but purpose whispers through your soul. Pressure is about what you're going through right now, but purpose is about where you're going and who you're becoming. When your why is strong enough, no weight is too heavy, no challenge too great, no obstacle too intimidating. The pressure might bend you, but it will never break you because purpose holds you together. Some of you are letting pressure dictate your moves. You feel stressed, so you stop. You feel overwhelmed, so you back out. But here's the truth. The pressure is not the problem. The lack of purpose is the problem. Because when you're crystal clear about your why, pressure doesn't scare you. It motivates you. Pressure becomes proof that you're on the right path, that you're being stretched, that you're leveling up. Diamonds don't come from comfort, they come from pressure. And the same is true for your greatness. Think about an athlete in the championship game. The crowd is loud, the clock is ticking, the pressure is insane. But the great ones don't fold. Why? Because they're not thinking about the pressure, they're thinking about the purpose, the trophy, the legacy, the impact. That's what keeps them locked in when the moment is heavy. And that's the exact same way you've got to live your life. When you start living with purpose, the pressure doesn't stop, but your perspective changes. Instead of saying, this is too much for me, you start saying, this is building me. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, you start saying, I was chosen for this. Purpose gives you the strength to carry what would normally crush you. Purpose reminds you that the pain is temporary, but the payoff is forever. Listen to me, pressure exposes the ones without purpose. That's why people quit so easily. The moment it gets hard, the moment it feels heavy, they drop out because they never had a deep enough why. They were chasing comfort, not calling. They were chasing applause, not destiny. But the ones who know their why, the ones who are driven by something bigger than themselves, those are the ones who rise under pressure. Your purpose has to be so strong that when pressure comes, instead of folding, you fight harder. Your purpose has to be so deep that when others run away, you run toward the battle. Your purpose has to be so unshakable that even when your body wants to quit, your spirit says, keep going. We're not done yet. And let me tell you, once you tap into that level of purpose, pressure no longer feels like an enemy. It feels like training. It feels like preparation. It feels like the weight room where greatness is built. You stop running from it and you start embracing it. You start saying, pile it on. I can take it. I was made for this. My purpose is bigger than this pressure. So the next time the weight of life presses down on you, don't fold. Don't complain. Don't let it break you. Tap into your why. Remind yourself of the mission. Remind yourself of the dream. Remind yourself of the people counting on you. Because when you live with purpose, you're unshakable under pressure, unstoppable under fire, and undefeatable in the fight. Victory doesn't always look like trophies, applause, or headlines. Sometimes victory is simply surviving when everything around you said you wouldn't. Sometimes victory is just waking up the next day and deciding, I'm still here, I'm still fighting, I'm not done yet. Victory is survival and persistence. It's not about how pretty the journey looks. It's about the fact that you refused to give up, no matter how ugly it got. Most people think winning is about being the fastest, the smartest, the most talented. They think victory belongs to the gifted, to the chosen few. But that's not the truth. Victory belongs to ones who refuse to quit. Victory belongs to the ones who can endure the storm and keep walking. Victory belongs to the ones who decide, I will outlast this. I will outwork this. I will outlive this pain. That's persistence. That's survival. And that's victory. The road to success is full of people who gave up right before the breakthrough. They had the talent. They had the vision. They had the opportunity, but they didn't have the persistence to endure one more round. They let temporary pain rob them of permanent greatness. And that's why I'm telling you today, persistence is the real superpower. Persistence is what turns ordinary people into champions. Persistence is what makes the impossible possible. Think about a marathon. The winner isn't the one who sprinted the fastest at the beginning. The winner is the one who kept moving when their legs were cramping, when their lungs were burning, when their mind was screaming, stop. That's life. Life is not a sprint, it's endurance. You don't need to be the strongest. You don't need to be the smartest. You just need to be the one who refuses to stop moving forward. And survival, don't underestimate survival. Sometimes we think if we didn't crush it, if we didn't dominate, then we lost. But no, sometimes the win is simply that you're still standing. You went through the heartbreak and you're still here. You went through the loss and you're still breathing. You went through the failure, and you're still dreaming. That's victory. Because every time life tries to take you out and you're still here, you've already won. Victory is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's not about never falling. It's about never staying down. Every scar on your body, every wound on your heart, every tear you've cried, they are not signs of weakness. They are badges of survival. They're proof that you didn't quit, proof that you endured, proof that you have the persistence to finish what you started. The truth is, persistence beats resistance. No matter how big the obstacle, no matter how long the delay, no matter how heavy the burden, if you just keep moving, eventually something has to break. Doors open for the ones who knock the longest. Mountains move for the ones who climb the hardest. Life bends for the ones who refuse to back down. So don't measure victory by how big the celebration looks. Measure it by the fact that you're still standing when others walked away. Measure it by the fact that you're still chasing when others gave up. Measure it by the fact that your heart is still beating with purpose when the world tried to silence you. Victory is survival. Victory is persistence. Victory is the courage to take one more step, fight one more round, try one more time. And if you keep doing that day after day, round after round, no matter how long it takes, no matter how heavy it feels, no matter how dark it gets, you will win because nothing can defeat the one who refuses to stop. Listen to me, life will test you. It will knock you down. It will strip you bare. It will throw storms in your face and pain in your chest. But after everything we've talked about, you already know the truth. You cannot be defeated. Defeat is not a condition. It's a choice. And you've decided you will never give life that power. Pain doesn't break you. It fuels you. Setbacks don't stop you. They build you. Resilience is not something you try on. It's who you are. And when pressure comes, your purpose is bigger than the weight. Your victory isn't about perfection. It's about survival and persistence. So the next time life whispers, stay down, you shout back, I rise. The next time pain says, give up, you declare, this is my fuel. The next time pressure tries to crush you, you remind it, my purpose is heavier than anything you can put on me. And the next time setbacks laugh in your face, you let them know, this isn't where I end. This is where I get stronger. Understand this, champions are not made in comfort. They are made in conflict. Warriors are not crowned in silence. They are forged in struggle. And victory is not about who looks the best while fighting. It's about who refuses to stop fighting. So write this on your heart. Repeat it until it becomes your identity. You can't defeat me. Not now, not ever. As long as I breathe, I battle. As long as I live, I rise. And as long as I rise, I win.